And we are live. It is Tricky once again. I'm James from the Dads on a Map Tricky podcast, and you are here to watch us play trick takers, shedders, climbers, card games, do some live teach and play of those games. If you like what you see on this show, or you like what you hear on Tricky or any of the Dads on a Map podcasts, please check us out on our website, dadsonaMap.com. You can support us on Patreon there. You can follow us to our Discord where we chat and play games all the time. You can just check out the website, hang out, look what's on there. I probably need to do some updates, but we'll get around to that. But for tonight, we are here to play another game. Tonight, it is a shedding and climbing game called Bridge City Poker. And I am joined tonight once again by Matt returning to the stream.
Hello.
And Rob returning to the stream.
Hello.
Ooh, we are not in proper player order. I am a bad host. So you're just going to have to use your imagination tonight. Unless, let's see. I'll shuffle. I'll stand up. Everybody stand up. You can see the magic of PCIO. I'll go to seat 1, Rob to seat 3, and boom, solved. We are problem solvers. But tonight, we're not solving problems. We are going to try to shed out before the deck's out, as the tagline says on this game. Bridge City Poker is a game released by Lee Giano, who, if you listen to the podcast, was our first interview on episode 1 of Tricky. Lee is heavily involved with, / the founder of, the grandfather architect of the Portland Game Collective, who is an awesome Discord community that talks trick takers and all kinds of card games as well. And also now a publishing house that has brought Bridge City Poker to life, and 535 will be their next project, which is completed on Kickstarter, and we'll start going through the process now and then getting into people's hands. And I know they have more games planned down the road, so really cool to see what else is going to be happening from Portland Game Collective, whether it's them, localizing popular Japanese titles like 535 or doing brand new games from some of the people in their circle, which is exciting. But let's teach Bridge City Poker. So we're playing a 3-player game tonight, which means our deck makeup in this game is going to be with 4 suits, 1 through 14. There is a 0 through 14 for 4 players, but that's the only change for 3 players tonight. And in Bridge City Poker, you're going to have a hand of cards. I'm going to go ahead and hit 3-player game, and I'll just put some powers out and deal so I can throw some cards out. You're going to have cards that have cute little illustrations of bridges on them that also signify the suit. So we have green are these types of bridge, St. John's. Blues are this Tillicum, and red is the Hawthorne. So it's just colors, but some lovely artwork on there too, because apparently Portland also claims to be the city of bridges, which there's a bunch of places that claim to do this apparently. So but in Bridge City Poker, we're trying to get rid of all of our cards, because if you can shed out all of your cards, you will score the best that you can in that round, which is -5 points. In this game, you do not want points. If you are not the person who sheds out all their cards, then you're going to take points equal to the sum of the cards in your hand. So every card counts for its points. We'll talk about scoring here in a second, but that's kind of just a general overview to talk more about the game. So we're going to be playing melds. So if you look up here in the top right, you'll see a pretty simple run of melds in this game. So you can play a single, a pair, a 3 of a kind. You can play a full house, which is a triple with a pair. You can play a run of 3, 4, or 5 that do not need to be suited. Or you can play a flush, which is 5 cards, all of a single suit. In Bridge City Poker, unlike some other shedding and climbing games that just keep whipping around the table, it is more like a trick taker in the fact that we're all just going to get one chance to play to that trick. So let's say I lead out with an 8, 9, 10, okay? So I've played a run of 3 cards. So now Matt, on his turn, if he wants to play, he must play an equal number of cards that I played in the same style of meld. So he has to play a 3-card run. So he can play an equal or higher 3-card run, or he can pass, or he can do a couple other things that I'll get to here with power cards. So let's say Matt passes. You can't play on that, Matt.
I cannot.
He'll pass, and Rob will also have the option then one time to play over this or equal to this as well. Rob, do you play or pass?
Nope, I got to pass.
All right. So if both of these gentlemen passed, anytime the trick is going to resolve at that point, we'll clear it. I was the winner of the trick, which means I'll lead out. If you passed and did not play into the trick, you're going to draw 2 cards from this draw pile and add them to your hand. So again, unlike some other shedders, here you are constantly replenishing your hand and then having to make do. It's tactical in that sense that you're constantly adding to your hand and getting new combos you can play. If you played into this but you did not win, you will instead just draw 1 card from the draw pile. Here on PCIO, you have simple little buttons under your name that say I either passed or I lost. And you can click that and it'll draw the correct number of cards to your hand. So in that case, Matt would click pass, draws 2 cards. Rob would click pass, he draws 2 cards, and I lead out again. Let's say another example. I'll just play a single because I know these guys can play on top of that. And again, you can play equal to or higher. If you play equal to, you will be considered to have beat that trick. You'll be in the lead. So Matt, you can go ahead and play a single on there. And then Rob. So Rob, if you could not beat that, you'd have to pass. So Rob plays there. So in this case, the trick would clear to Rob, and Matt and I would each click loss, which means we will draw 1 card from the deck. So every turn, generally speaking, you're either going to pass and draw 2 cards, or you're going to lose and draw 1 card, or be the winner of that meld that went around the table. However, there's a couple other options. As you can see down here in the bottom right, on your turn, you can play a meld, you can pass, or you can play a power card or discard 1 or more power cards as a loss. So the discard is easier. Let's say you have a power card in your hand and you just want to discard it. So Rob leads something, I discard a power card, and that means when it's time to resolve drawing cards, I would take this as a loss, meaning if I choose to discard 1 or more power cards, I'll draw 1 card when it comes time to draw cards. Or you can play power cards. So power cards are going to have a couple different symbols on them. I'm going to highlight up here in the top right again. They can be play alone, which means you must just play it by itself, which generally means for that meld around the table, you will not draw cards unless your power card tells you to. So playing a power card alone is a way to kind of opt out of that meld. You can play with a meld. You'll see that icon here on my extend card that I was going to discard. So when that is an option, you're going to play it alongside a meld or sometimes included in the meld. And then finally, you have play only as the lead as the other option, which obviously you need to play only if you have the lead. The cards will usually resolve immediately, but oftentimes will say resolve at end of trick. So we'll just kind of play those as they happen. For instance, someone threw out this trap card. So instead of playing to the tricks, let's say I just let a 12, and then Matt could say, I'll play my trap card, which says, during this draw phase, the winner of this trick draws 3 and you draw 1. So it's a bit of a punishment, right? I played out with a big lead, Matt plays this, and then when it's time to draw, I'll draw some cards and he'll draw 1, which he would have done anyway if he lost the trick. So there's the trap card's going to let you, the power card's going to let you kind of move things around. You can think of them like the power cards in Teach You. You know, the dragon lets you win with 1 card, always. The Phoenix lets you be wild inside a straight. And a lot of these cards are nods to other Shedder, Climber, and Trick Taker games that kind of bring some of those powers in for some interesting bits. They will have some interesting interactions that are can get a little complicated. We'll see if we run into any today, because we're going to play with a random set of cards from the deck. But we'll find out. That I know Lee is working on like a big composium that's going to kind of detail how they all interact, but I don't envy him one bit because there's something like 28, 30 power cards in the game. So there's a lot of interactions. Also to note, each power card does have a plus point value on it. So as a punishment for playing one of these power cards, you're going to take that many points at the end of the round. And again, points are bad. The name of the game is we're going to play 4 rounds and try to have the least amount of points at the end. So if you are playing trap cards, you're getting their benefit usually, but you're also handicapping yourself with points. That's pretty much it for the gameplay around the table. Now I want to talk about the end of the round and how scoring works. So let's just remove these for now. And so the round can end in one of two ways. The first is simple. If one person runs out of cards, then we will finish that trick and the round is over. During the finishing that trick step, we will not draw cards as we normally would. The player who shed all their cards will get -5 points, which is a good thing. And then everyone else will score for whatever's in their hand. I'm going to just fan this out up here. When you look at your hand, the first thing you can do is discard all of one color, known as burning a bridge. So in this case, I would obviously get rid of these green cards, and I would be left with 19 points plus any trap cards I had put into play that round. So say this would be 22 points, would be what I score for that round. So everyone gets to do that. You always get to burn a bridge at the end. So like I said, that's the easy way to end the round. The more difficult and more common way to end the round is by depleting this draw deck. So what happens is if we get to a point of the game when players need to draw cards and there would not be enough cards for everyone to draw up their required number, that will trigger the second to last round. Nobody will draw. We will discard the rest of the draw pile, and then we'll play one more trick where also nobody will draw. So that's going to be how the round ends usually. Have you guys both played this, Matt and Rob?
A two-player?
And Rob, have you?
Nope.
Okay. As we get to the first end of our first round, I'll kind of be calling out as the draw pile's dwindling down, so we know when it's coming, because it can sneak up on you sometimes. But at 3-player, I don't think it does too badly. Any questions from you guys?
Nope.
All right. I'm going to reset this room. We're going to do a 3-player game. We're going to do random powers. We can just talk through them for the stream. So we have Split, which is going to be a +4 to your score pile. Lets you split a card in 2 equal numbers of the same suit. So if you had an 8 of red, now you have 2 8s of red. You could play them as a pair. So to do that, you'd play that single 8 and this card at the same time because it has the play alongside a meld symbol, and you could play them as 2 8s, for instance. Extend says extend this trick continuously. The trick ends once all but one player's pass. So this kind of turns it into a typical shedding hand, like Haggis or Tichu, where we'll just keep wrapping around until everybody passes. Split will let you split a card into 2 equal numbers of the same suit. So, oh, that's the same card. Okay, interesting. We're going to remove that one. Don't know how that happened. Instead, we'll have Cycle. Cycle says, draw 2, then place 2 cards on the bottom of the deck. Lets you mess with your hand a little bit and try to make some big combos. Copy a previously played power card, including one played with this trick. Swap it with this card. So this one's kind of interesting. When you play this, you'll get to copy a power, but you'll also take on their points and instead hand them this 1 instead. And Wheel. Players give 1 to 3 cards to the player on their left at the same time. Skip players with no cards. So this will just let us pass cards around as described. And yeah, we'll see how those play out. So none of these have the play only as the lead icon. You see a couple that are play alone and then a couple that are play in a meld. So we'll see how it goes. So 3-player deal. And I'll just start us out tonight. We're just going to pass the lead around the table and play 4 rounds. Oh boy. Okay. So again, just to recap, 1 through 14 in 4 suits. And you could potentially have those power cards in hand also. At 3-player, we each have a hand of 9 cards. Well, I'm just going to start us out with a big, bad flush. So I didn't mention this in the teach, apologies, but everything else in the game you need to play a higher or equal version of. When it comes to a flush, the next flush played always wins. So you could play a flush that does not have a 14 in it, and it would still win against my flush. On to you, Matt.
I will pass.
Gonna pass as well.
All right. And like there will be circumstances where we don't want to collect cards from the draw as we're playing, but those will not happen here in this game, I don't think, because of the power cards we have. All right, so we'll clear this, and then I will lead out a 14. And again, a 14 would beat this, just to re-emphasize that.
There you go.
Pass.
And so I will take a loss. Matt clears the trick, and he leads out. If you're watching the stream, give us a follow so I can hear that trick, 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 trick soundbite that I love so much.
Go 3 ones.
Trip ones. That's what I'm talking about, Sean. Thanks for pushing that button.
Oh. 3 12s.
And I will pass. So Matt takes the loss. Rob clears trick and leads. We did 535 a couple weeks ago. So if you, I know it's no longer on the Twitch, but if you go to YouTube and search Tricky 535, you will find it. I think I spelled it out because that's the new spelling. So spell out 535, and I think you'll find it.
Go. There are 13s.
Big pass for me. So you can see, like, I almost emptied my hand, and now since then I just keep passing and adding to my miserable hand.
And I will pass as well.
Okay, so Rob clears. So the deck is already down to 20, which is not very many cards, so just be aware that it does start sucking out quick.
9, 10, 11.
I pass.
And I pass as well.
Jeez. Eventually Rob will play
Just
something.
go a single 11.
Hey, I can play on that. I'll go 14.
I will pass.
I will go with a full house. 5s full of 4s. Nope. No power cards yet. Thanks, Trainiac, for the follow. Really hope those power cards made it in the deal because we haven't seen one.
I will pass again.
I can just play this, right? As a
Right.
discard.
Correct. And to I did not say this in scoring, it doesn't hurt you to have it in your hand at the end, other than the fact that it makes it harder to shed out, right? You need to get rid of it if you have aspirations of getting rid of all your cards.
Gotcha.
All right, so you'll discard that. So
Yep.
you'll take that as a loss. We'll clear. Matt has 16 freaking cards. I will play a 13.
Can I play a pair above you?
You
Or it
cannot.
has to be a single?
Just a single, yep.
That. All right, then I will play that as a pass.
And I will pass.
So you'll take a loss, Matt, since you're discarding it. You also could have used it, just to call that out. And if you use it, you actually wouldn't have drawn any cards. But I don't know if it'd be beneficial to pass cards around for you at this time.
And that gets discarded. I don't hang on to that one.
Correct. Yeah, same for you, Rob. You didn't use it, so you can put it in the discard pile. All right. I will play a 12. Thanks, Duke, for the follow.
Finally.
Pass.
And I will take the
Oh,
loss.
we're down to 5 cards.
Yeah, we are down to 4
cards.
cards. So this will not be the second to last hand, but we should have just 3 more hands. And remember, you'll get to burn a bridge. So like Matt, if he was sitting on a ton of one color, it really doesn't hurt him. It's about getting rid of the other cards in his hand. But he has a lot of cards. A lot of cards. I think one of the first times we ever played this on here, I was playing with Sanchez, my co-host, and he put up like a 78-point hand or something like that. Just brutal. I think his final score was in like the 130s or something crazy like that. So you can get absolutely dumpstered in this game, but most of the time it usually stays pretty snug. Did I win that? I'm sorry.
I think Matt did.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
he?
Matt did. Okay, yeah, he did. I was over here yammering. Oh, he popped a little disconnect notice on my side.
Well, he laid a flush. It looks like.
Yep.
That's a pass.
Oh, I'm having trouble getting. There we go.
There you go. You're back. And I
Okay.
I'll pass. All right. So we'll play this trick as normal, but because no one will be able to draw up and at least one person will need to draw up, this will be the second to last hand, and then we'll play one more hand after that.
And I'm having troubles here again. I just got bounced again.
That's okay.
Okay.
We'll fill time. We got you. I think it was last week when we were playing afterwards, you got bounced. We were like, at least it wasn't during the stream.
Yeah. There we go. Pair of 11s.
A pass.
I'll pass. There's nothing to draw, so it just clears, and then Matt will play again, lead again.
Just a 10.
Pass.
I'll play a single 10 also. Okay, so that's the end of the round. Well, you can pull out your cards or do whatever you want. You don't need to pull them out and show, but you can get rid of all of one color. So like I'm going to get rid of both of my greens here, which is going to leave me with just 9 points. And I had one power card in hand, which does not count against you. I'll just put that in the discard pile. And take myself some 9 points. Only 11, Matt?
I
What's
know.
going
I don't
on
know
here?
how that happened.
Not bad from that disaster you almost had.
Thanks.
16
helped.
cards or something, yeah.
I'm gonna burn these ones.
Okay. Ooh, it's a lot of beef over there, Rob.
Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to play a full house or something. I couldn't take the lead at all. I had all these middle of the road cards.
Yep. So how many is that?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to get my calculator out. I'm not a math whiz. 42, it looks like.
Sounds legit to me.
Yeah, that's what I just got.
All right, I'm going to clear this. We are going to say next round, which should keep the same deck makeup. So we'll be playing with those same power cards the whole time. You can change those in between rounds if you want. You can kind of do whatever you want with the power cards, honestly. But, you know, Rob, if you can take 42 in a round, so can we. So don't give up hope. Matt will lead out this one. We'll just pass it to the left. And
Okay. Let's see how this works out for me. We'll try another flush like you started yours with.
it felt like a fortunate start, but it kind of fizzled out.
We'll see what happens.
Pass.
I will pass also. Matt to lead again.
11.
11.
I'll play a 14. So I win. You guys each take a loss. And then I'll go with a flush.
Pass.
Pass as well.
Did you just double tap that, Rob? I thought I saw you shoot from 11 to 15 cards.
Yeah, I think I did. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen them all now, so I
I
don't
mean-
know how to put them all back.
They should be on. Oh, I don't know if they sort. You can just try to pull too. Whatever.
Well, I've seen all 4 of them now.
I mean, we can shuffle the draw pile, so it's fine. If you put 2
Oh
back.
yeah, just put those 4 back. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then shuffle it.
Yep. Hey, now we've seen it too.
Sorry, it keeps like clicking itself.
Let's see. Shuffle stack. There you go. Now you can take the the pass. All right, that was my clear. Yeah, that was the flush. Let's do a pair of 2s. It's a funny game because since the lower cards don't really hurt you, since you're summing your points in hand, it's not like a lot of shedders where it's your only chance to get rid of your bad cards. Like, you can just kind of sit on those bad cards. Ooh, pair of 9s. Okay, cool.
This may split into 2 equal numbers. Oh, let's see how it is.
Oh, I think maybe that split actually equal number. Yeah, I guess it. I don't know that it duplicates, or if it, if you should have 2 4.5s, for instance.
Oh.
It says rounded up, so I think it would be 2 5s.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good reading, Rob.
Okay.
Good job reading.
Okay.
Reading, it's
right. So 2 5s.
I'll play pair of 7s.
All right. So loss for us, and Rob will lead.
I'm just gonna go with a pair of 1s.
I will discard a power card.
I will as well.
Okay, so we'll clear. We'll each take a loss. Go for it, Rob.
Yeah. Just gonna go with a single 2.
Go with the 8. All right.
Let's go with an 8.
So losses, and Matt will lead.
We'll go with a run.
Hope you can play, Rob. He's down to 1 card.
Yeah. That's not gonna do anything for me. Hang on. Can I play this to draw 2? And then will it still allow me to play? Or is this the only card I can play?
Right. That's all you would do for your turn. Yep.
Yeah, that's a waste.
But you could hope or assume I'm going to beat him. Oh, but if I do, I'll be out. So never mind.
Where's the previously played power cards? I have one that lets me copy them. What ones were played?
Only this
Well, those
is
are just
played.
cards.
The split, yeah. because the others were discarded. They were not played.
Well, that's not going to do me any good when he plays a run.
Nope.
Oh, boy.
And sometimes...
Then I'm going to just discard this.
Yep. And I have to pass, so I will draw. And we'll clear. And Matt will lead out his single card. But we will finish this trick, so you will get to play on it. But he will go out and lose 5 points. Or go negative 5 points. Oh, boy. I'm not looking good.
So you got 4 colors in your hand there.
I have a lot of color. So I'll play this 12. Okay, so there is no drawing in this final trick since Matt went out. And we'll just go ahead and clear it to clean up the table. Go ahead and burn a bridge. And then tally your points. I mean, I guess it wasn't bad. I took 18. Could have been a lot worse.
Do the power cards in your hand count for anything?
They are nothing. You can just discard them. And so, yeah, Matt lost 5 points for shedding out, but took 4 points for his power card, which he got.
So I'll take 27.
Hey, you're going in the right direction, right? All right, we'll clear this. We'll clean up. Let's toss this in here. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work. Discard all these. Yeah. Next round. There we go. Pulled everything back. The beauties of PCIO sometimes. You're just not sure what the buttons are going to do. All right. So round 3. Rob with his nice 69 is going to lead out and try to change his fortunes.
Yep. I'm going to go out and 5, 6, 7, 8.
Boy. I'm going to do cycle. So I'm going to play a solo power card, which lets me draw 2, then place 2 on the bottom. So I'm just going to click pass to draw 2. And then pick 2 of these to put on the bottom of the deck. And you can go ahead, Matt, while I'm doing that admin.
I'm going to pass.
So I'm going to put these on the bottom of the deck. And Matt will pass and take a pass, and we'll clean up.
Do you take a loss?
I do not. So when you play a solo power card, you never draw other than if it tells you to draw.
Okay.
It's not a loss, it's not a pass, it is a solo power card. Which is not explicit in the rules. Like something I talked to Lee about after I kind of started playing this game, and he cleared it up, but it's not very explicit in the rules, which is unfortunate.
I play a single 8.
I'm going to play a single 9.
Play 14.
Okay.
Play a 6, 7, 8.
Pass.
I'm going to... Is that crazy?
Yeah.
I'm going to play copy and just copy my own cycle card, copy a previously played power card, trade it with this one. There's nothing to trade because they both belong to me. So I'm going to draw 2 again and then return 2 again. So that's the trick. I won't draw anything else. And Rob takes a pass, which I think he already did. No, Lee didn't finish the compendium that I know of. I think it's still very much a work in progress. Lee sounds like a very busy dude from talking with him, so I think he just keeps tinkering with it when he gets a chance. I'm going to discard 2 power cards. Yes, I have all the power cards, folks. So discard 2 power cards, which will be a loss. And Matt also takes a loss. This could be the round, Rob. It's looking good. Get those cards low.
10, 11, 12. Sorry, 12, 13.
Yeah, it's a pass for me.
Pass.
Yikes, this is the round for you, Rob. Because you are out. Okay, I'm going to play this 12. And we will not draw here, so just to reemphasize that.
And I have to pass on that.
Okay, so that's the round. Rob, you can take -5. I'm going to burn this bridge. And then I'm taking 23 points. Yikes. To even 50. Oh, plus my power cards. Yikes. Let's see. Rabbit Duck. No, I have not messed with Taylor's deck building trick taker. Zip Zap Zop, I believe is the name of it. That might be their next release. I'm not sure if that's in stone yet, but I have not got a chance to check it out. I don't really know anything about it. Deck building is not a mechanic I'd love, so there's not a big draw in that hook, but I'd certainly check it out. All right, we're settled up. Okay. Next round. And, well, at least I caught up to you, Rob. I'm not sure what we're going to do about Matt. He still seems to be a problem.
Yeah, he's going to be tough to beat.
And then I lead out. So let's see what we're going to go with here. Let's go with a 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's funny in this game. When it comes to the power cards, you can get a completely worthless kind of combination of power cards that just don't feel like they really allow you a lot of agency. And I don't think the ones we have here are a great showcase. They certainly have their moments, but you have some very overpowered ones too that I don't think it would be. I don't know. It's debatable whether it's fun to have all those in one game. Like there's one called Wrench that lets you like modify as many of the cards in your meld by 1 as you want to. So you can really like adjust your hand a lot with things like that. There's just straight wild cards. There's ones that reverse the trick and let the lowest meld win. So they are all over the map. Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
That's okay. I'm going to pass.
I'm going to pass as well.
Okay. Let's go with 14.
Can match that.
Was kind of hoping you didn't have one of those.
Pass.
I'll take the loss.
I'll go with the 8, 9, 10, 11.
Boy, that's not good.
You know, Rob, in the first hand, Matt built his hand up to 14 or 16 cards. And look where he is now. He's in
That's
first
true.
place.
I'm just going to discard this for 1.
All right, I'll just pass.
With a pair of 3s.
I'll go with a pair of 13s.
Killing me, Rob. I pass.
I'm gonna go 6, 7, 8, 9.
You're still killing me, Rob. I'm going to discard a power card.
I'm gonna pass.
Pair of 11s.
Pair of 12s. Oh,
Pair of 13s.
oh, man, I wish I could show my hand right now. All right, taking a loss. I mean, I can show my hand, but I'm not gonna. Rob, you took the loss?
Yeah.
Go with 5, 6, 7.
I play this to draw 2 and then put 2 back. I guess I'll put it down here.
I'm just gonna discard a power card. So, Rob, you can do your draw and discard if you haven't.
Yeah, I grabbed 2 and I'm looking
Okay.
for 2 to put back.
Cool. And we'll have to put them on the bottom. So just put them here and I'll move this on top. I moved your 1 right here. Oh, did you put them both up there?
Yeah, put it up there
Okay.
in a stack of 2.
Cool. All right. Clears to Matt, who could hit the dagger here. Oh, we're still alive. We're still alive, Rob.
I will play an 11.
I'll play a 12. All right, clear that. I'll play a.
So I didn't get a card. Oh, there it is.
There you go. I'll play a straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I will pass with my 2 cards.
I will pass as well.
And then I will play a sad little 7. Wish I had the power move to go out, but I don't.
Oh, I can't do that. Play a 14.
Pass.
Loss for me.
Play a 10.
Well,
I will pass. I always forget when I'm doing this that if I hover in certain mods,
4,
it blows them up on the
5,
screen.
6.
I will discard a power card. Which is a loss, which means we will play 2 more tricks. Because the deck is empty, but nobody has needed to draw yet. But now we are going to need to draw. I don't think we're gonna put 30 points on Matt in his 5 cards, but maybe.
Small cards left.
And Rob, you're leading, yes?
Yeah, I laid a 9.
Oh, I don't see it. There it is.
There it is.
Wonder if I disconnected for a second or not. I'll play a 14.
And I will pass.
All right, no cards to draw, and this is the last trick. I'll play a pair of 2s.
I will play a pair of 4s.
I will pass.
And that's it. I just had one card left, so I'll burn this as the bridge and take a 0 for the round.
I will
I'll
burn
burn
5.
these 2, and
Leaves me with 4.
I will take 2 points.
Well, look at that nice, clean final round. 0, 4, and 2. Now if we could just clean up the rest of the mess. Well, that's Bridge City Poker. You can see the spread there. It is a game where points
Oh,
can
wait, I get 3.
Oh, yeah.
I get 3 more from my power card.
Hey, back to 69. Nice work, Rob. You're the real winner tonight. But that's Bridge City Poker. You can see the scores can, they can snowball a little bit. They can get a little out of control. You do have to be careful what you do with your hand. There's a lot to consider with trying to shed the correct cards. There's times when you just can't shed anything, and that does happen. But if you can just try to keep the same colors in your hand, a lot of times you can minimize the damage at the end. But it's a wild game. I kind of feel like this one is one that the agency never feels super strong to me, but usually the gameplay is fun enough and the power cards can kind of make it wild enough that it usually results in a good time at the table. Only plays up to 4, which can be a little bit of a hamstring on it, I've found, but I've enjoyed it. What do you guys think of this one? Matt, we'll start with you.
I enjoyed it with 3. I really enjoyed it as a 2-player. I have not played 4 yet.
And the 2-player, really the only adjustment is when you pass, you draw 3, and when you lose, you draw 2. So in a 2-player head-to-head battle, you're like constantly stuffing your hand back full of cards, which can be a lot of fun, and it kind of gets that like haggis kind of dueler where you know what your opponent can't beat, so you can start kind of leaning on them. I like the way it plays it too also. Rob, what do you think of your first play?
I enjoyed it. I like the very simple meld structure. I mean, everybody's plays poker. You know what the meld structure is. I agree with your comment about player agency. It didn't feel like I had a ton of agency, but it was fun, and the power cards were nice. It helped add some variety into it.
Mm-hmm. And again, like the power cards are just, I mean, such a plentiful deck. Like 25, I guess, here in the mod, and there might even be more of those. And they'll do a little bit of everything, so they're definitely worth checking out. If you like this game, definitely check it out. I know that Lee still has a ton of copies. I think he said something like an entire bedroom full. So if you're interested in it, you can certainly find it just by looking at the BGG page. I think there's constantly a BGG listing up for it that you can check out. And I know the recent Kickstarter for 535 offered the ability to order it as well. So that's it for this week. Thanks once again to Matt and Rob for joining us on the stream. We'll be back next week streaming probably another trick-taking game. If there's something you want to see, join the Discord. Head over to the Rock a Rhyme That's Right on Time channel. That's the name of the trick-taking channel. Yeah. Welcome to the Discord. And tell us what games you want to hear next week. Otherwise, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.